Than the way they had to hold on at the end.
No, it's huge. I think you can take positives from that. You can find things that you can push into your team, and I'm sure Mauricio Pochettino and his team will do that. Resilience will be one of the words that I'll be using, which should be key for this team, is building that resilience. This is a tough place to go, as we spoke about before. Many teams have struggled here. I thought for a large part of the game they looked very comfortable, Chelsea. But when there are moments, which every game presents moments where it's going to be the tide is against you, you've got to have that resilience and the ability to kind of withstand that pressure and the onslaught that comes, especially at away grounds like this. And they got there in the end. Bit of luck. The woodwork helped as well. But the manager's got to find a way to really build some momentum here. And the 2 results away from home, Palace and then here, a good yardstick for this team and a good way to go. You know what, guys, we have got it in us. We need to find this week in, week out now, and let's continue this momentum.
When Cole Palmer made it 3-0, they seemed completely in control, Jermaine. Where did it stop being convincing?
Well, I just think when a place like this, when you go 3-0 up, you know, from Luton's point of view and from Rob Edwards' point of view, they're just going to throw everything at you. You know, they made a couple of substitutions. I thought Chong, when he came on, added a lot of running power to the side and made things very difficult for Chelsea. But they just took more risks, Luton. And the game's a little bit in the balance. I think Cole Palmer comes off, he makes a couple of changes, and that's all it takes sometimes. And, you know, once that first goal goes in, then they almost kind of revert back to how they were early on in the season when they're starting to doubt themselves again. Thankfully for Chelsea, they hung on and got the result they wanted. But you feel that if the game went 5-10 minutes longer, that Luton would have definitely got the equaliser. So some stuff there to work on. But I think individually there was a couple of real good individual performances, like Colwill, I thought was brilliant on that left-hand side. Thiago Silva, different class. Palmer. You know, there was enough decent individual performances for Mauricio to be pleased with today.
Yeah, absolutely. Cole Palmer named player of the match, but you feel it could have been any number of players today, Rio?
I think Cole Palmer was a standout. I think when you've got someone who scores, here he is, the manager.
Good to see you, Mauricio.
Come in.
Thanks for coming out to join us, and congratulations on the win. A big win to end the year with Mauricio, but you had to work for it at the end. How do you sum that up?
No, I'm so pleased, so happy, because we need to give credit to Luton, because if you see the previous game against Arsenal, Liverpool and many teams, and was so difficult to break down, and then always come back to the game, never give up, they deserve big credit. I think it's a good example with little things to maximize all the elements, and I want to congratulate Luton and Rob, of course, his manager, because they are doing a fantastic job, and you can appreciate today how difficult it is to play here, even if it looks like you control the game 3-0 for us and looks 3-2, and deserve credit our player also, because I think to manage this type of situation never is easy, and then for our situation it was a game that we needed to win, but I think Luton is doing a fantastic job. It's difficult here.
As a manager, Mauricio, I mean, obviously on the sidelines you must go through a world of different emotions when the game's like this. But in terms of the last 2 results, we spoke about Palace away, hard game. Here now, hard game, and you come away with 6 points. How do you go about instilling that confidence in the team to continue with the momentum, but also build that resilience in these big moments in games?
No, I think now is the moment to keep. No, I think today is too many positive things that we need to translate and being consistent in the way that the work ethic. I think the 11 players that were on the pitch, they were working all together. I see too many aspects that we were improving in the last few games. After Wolverhampton, I think we feel all disappointed. But in the same time, it's a young team. Doesn't mean that it's young player, but it's about to know each other. Is to to create this trust and confidence. And I think this type of result, when you need to really, you need your teammate to fight with you, and I think that is going to create, I think, the good thing. We need to be clever now to go there and to push and to keep doing the same, to have the same attitude and energy, because the quality after will arrive, because we have plenty of talent. But yes, the Premier League is today was a good example. Yeah, yes, you need to match the desire of Luton, the aggressivity, and then of course the quality will appear. But if you do not match that first, is for sure you're struggling.
You had some unbelievable individual performances today, I thought. I thought Colwill at left-back was a standout, but Thiago Silva for me, along with Cole Palmer, for player of the match was, they were neck and neck. But after the game, Thiago Silva seemed pretty animated and a little bit upset with probably the last part of the game. Did he just feel maybe that it was just a little bit too open? Because I think that was him showing his experience.
But Thiago is like this. He's have his character. No, the character is of Thiago is always mowing. He's always never happy.
This is good.
Yeah, but that is good.
Yeah.
He's 39 years old and he's still playing.
High standards.
Goodness, oh my goodness, he's so professional. Yeah, but sometimes I think we were there on the pitch, and sometimes a small detail that keep in your head, and when you finish the game, rather to enjoy and appreciate the result and appreciate the effort of your teammate, you go because some details you want to show your the team, and your emotion is there. But for sure, now is
Exactly.
appreciate the effort. And
You mentioned young players in this squad, and you've got some fantastic talent here. Does that mean in the transfer window, experienced players may be the ones that you look at?
You're trying to get him to sign you or something?
You
How
saw
much
my skills
experience
before
we
the
talking?
game. You saw the skills. I've still got it.
You are fit, still fit, you are fit. But both, you are both fit. It's a thing that we are going to discuss with the owner and sporting director, but it's going to be a decision from everywhere. I think at the moment, the most important is to work with our squad, with our team. It's too many players that still need to step up and be part of course, of the squad, of the team, be available. That is so unbelievable that from the beginning of the season we suffer many injuries. And yes, to be honest, I am not thinking into go to the market personally, but and then it's about to discuss with the owners and of course with the sporting director, and all together to take the best decision for the team.
Maurizio, we'll let you go. Thank you very much for
You're
coming
welcome.
out to talk to us.
Thank
Have a
you very
happy
much.
new year. I'm sure you will now.
See you
Well
and Happy
done.
New Year. Okay.
Yeah,
Take care.
have a good one. Mauricio Poch, it's a hard no to signing you up in January. Did you fancy yourself playing with Thiago Silva at the back?
No. It's what Thiago Silva is. We were talking about it during the game. Like it's like ridiculous. It's beyond belief, really, what he's doing. Because I remember what I thought of 36. Is he 39 now?
39, yeah.
I was on the way to A&E after every game at 36 years old, where he's just like got a cigar out, velvet slippers, just chilling through games, and still one of the best players, stand-up players in his team. So whatever he's doing, he needs to kind of get that put into a PDF and put out there for people to kind of live and abide by.
They don't win that game without him today.
No.
Yeah.
If you watch the amount of times where Rio know better when you're in that box and it's all happening so fast, and you've got to make a decision sometimes as centre half. Do I mark my man or do I mark the space? And he just picks the choice every time. So that ball comes into the box, it's just a magnet to him because he knows where the ball's going before anybody else does.
It's that experience, isn't it?
It's that experience and just knowledge and know-how to get through these types of games, and he was just, he was really standing. He stood out like a sore thumb today.
Absolutely. Well, on the theme of defending, let's look at Luton's for the first goal. It was a brilliant finish from Cole Palmer, but a lot that Rob Edwards will be disappointed with here.
Yeah, it was a fabulous ball, first of all, from Cole Palmer. He puts Jackson in there. A bit of a wasteful finish there, a tight angle, I'll give him that. But this here, from this point, the reaction of the defender there when he plays it out, and his angle that he goes out, and he's all wrong. But Cole Palmer today, I thought he showed glimpses of just pure brilliance. And the way he struck that ball was tremendous. It was a clean strike, as clean as you're going to get. Absolutely punishes the Luton team there with that fabulous strike.
It's just poor defending. The reaction from Kabore is it's not good enough. But I actually think in the first 45 minutes, that would be the big disappointment for Rob Edwards. It'd be interesting. I know we're going to talk to him, but it'd be interesting to see if he gave them their first kind of like
rollicking
in the first half, because all of this is very passive. I think from Chelsea's point of view, brilliant from Madueke, takes the chance, smashes it into the roof of the net. But look at the space that Cole Palmer's got. That'd have been something they'd have worked on, and he was in acres of space for that second goal. Found his man, but you can't take anything away from the finish, really.
It looked like the first time this season that they actually showed. I'm talking about your team here, Rob.
Hello,
just
Rob.
come in to speak to us. But I'm just looking at the two first goals there, and it just seemed like for the first time this season here, especially at Kenilworth Road, that it looked like you look a team that was almost in awe of the opposition in the first half and was standing off of the opposition and allowing them to play rather than being like you were in the last 10 minutes, 15 minutes of the game, up against them, pressurising them. You mentioned being the high press as well. And that wasn't there in the first probably 70-odd minutes. And was that something you addressed at half-time?
No, look, I've got to be honest. I think we were really brave, and it's just they're up against top players and a top team that are going to be able to get control at times. But I think it was just harder for us to break through in the final third. I think in the first half, a lot of the territory was still down there, and their moments came more on counter-attacking and quick counter-attacks. But their quality was really evident. That front four are special, you know. And in 1v1 situations, they can wriggle away. And we just got opened up a couple of times, which was disappointing. We made a mistake for the first goal. And then at 2-0, we adjusted. We did change the personnel, change the shape a little bit. But in terms of from a tactical point of view, we had to still position ourselves right. But we affected the game. I thought we went on the front foot again in the first half. It's amazing how goals sort of change people's emotions and perceptions of the game as well. Chelsea go 3-0 up. Luton, you know, what they're doing. I thought we were playing really well. I did. I've just told the boys out there. But to go 3-0 down, a bit of an air of disappointment in the atmosphere then. But then to show the fight, the character that we did, and the quality. I'm incredibly proud of the players in there, and. Because it could go one way or the other, that. Chelsea get their tails up, and we've seen teams go 4, 5, 6, and it can happen in the Premier League to almost anyone. To almost get something from the game then.
I think your substitutions were telling as well. I think Chong especially came on to give you the legs.
Chong, was excellent, wasn't he, Rio? He had real intent, he was so intense with his game in and out of possession. I thought his quality was really, really good as well. And he enabled us to either in transition get up the pitch and drive us forward, or there was a bit more of a link there for Ross as well and Sambi to play off. So it was almost taking another defender off, get another forward on, but still positioning ourselves in the right way to defend properly as well when we could. But look, we've had loads of set pieces. We've hit the woodwork a couple of times. We've had an offside goal. It was a good performance. That we're just up against a team with brilliant quality, a brilliant manager, and you know, credit to them, they found a way.
You hit the bar a couple of times as well. You had one ruled out for offside. Is it another day where you're going home feeling like you've played against the top side here? You've lost just by a single goal and felt you deserve more again?
A little bit, but I can sleep at night. I know we can't guarantee the wins or the draws. The result you can't guarantee, but you can guarantee you leave it all out there. That's what I said at the beginning of the day, and we've done that again. The standing ovation from the supporters. They're going to remember this. You know, these games. We've given them something. It's an entertainment business. We've given them another entertaining game. We've given everything. We showed real quality as well.
Yeah. Is it almost the expectancy levels have just risen, maybe slightly on you?
JJ, maybe.
Of the level of performances that you've put in against City, against even Spurs when you're here and you get beat late on, and Liverpool. It's almost like sorry, I didn't want to say that to you, Lindsay. But that air of expectancy seems to, because you mentioned 3-0 and the feeling in the stadium, I felt it as well. There was a bit of a lull, wasn't they? Like, what's going on here? But that's probably testament to what you've been doing.
It is, but then we've all been there at some stage and up against it, and you wouldn't have been 3-0 down very often, you two, but I maybe have a few more times. But the lads found the way to wrestle the game back into our control. They deserve a lot of credit for that. It's the players that go and do that. We can try and jig things around, make some changes. The players go and do it. They're unbelievably brave. They showed loads of quality as well against a really good team who in the end were rocked and hanging on. But so we can take a lot from that, and I do think the performances have been good now for a number of weeks, a number of months. So maybe we're changing the narrative a little bit around us, and even the style and everything and what we are. Perhaps people are seeing it a bit more.
You say that, and you're at the halfway point now in terms of games, but you're really within touching distance of Everton, of Forest, of Palace. How do you feel about where you are in that table now and what's achievable for you, given the way you've changed the narrative?
Well, there's a long way to go. I like to look at the journey so far in the halfway stage. I look at us against Chelsea in the second game of the season. I look at this then today, and I think we've grown. I think we've evolved a heck of a lot. I think there's a lot more belief and confidence around. I like the way we're moving. We've got the second half of the season to continue to improve, because I know we're nowhere near perfect, and we've got to keep working on lots of things. But I like what I'm seeing. The boys are fully committed. Everyone's with it. We'll need everyone together, and we'll continue to work really hard and keep building.
What has been the catalyst for that? I mean, obviously you see things as coaches and managers, and you try and implement certain tactical changes within your team based on each game that you play. But what has actually enabled your team to kind of improve the way they have from the start of the season, what we saw, and what you just mentioned there, to where you are now?
I think I've learned a lot about the league as well, and what I think, and actually, us being brave and on the front foot and having intensity, it is the best way for us to go and play. If we try and even leave at times, if we try and even leave a +1 in their favour in the build-up, if we try and do that, it can almost send the wrong message to us and to the group that we're going to wait. When we wait, we're not as effective. Don't want to give too much away now, but we need to play with intensity. We need to be brave, and I think that gets the best out of the players as well from an in-possession point of view, because we play with a real purpose and intensity in the possession. People like Ross, though, have really helped us evolve and change us as well, because they can take the ball. Sambi's performance as well, I thought, was excellent in midfield. I don't want to pick out too many people, but young Teddy Mengi, for a 21-year-old centre-back, unbelievably brave, 1v1. With and without the ball, 1v1. We're going 1v1 with top players on the halfway line, and we'll try and be brave. And those lads, Gabe Osho, Amari Bell, on that last line were excellent. We didn't get it all right because we still got breached 3 times, but as I say, you know, we're working to keep improving, and we're going the right way.
You had a really sensible summer, and it feels the way you've been playing in the Premier League, you've been completely vindicated for that. What are the plans in January? Will you strengthen? Can you strengthen?
Big, massive signings, I can see it already. I can see it already.
50 million one deal. Unless you want to get your booze back.
He's already tried to get in the
Listen,
Chelsea.
you know what, I'm going to have to go home and talk to my agent again. Talk to my agent about this. It's Mauricio.
Yeah, you got to go 1v1 big spaces now. Really.
I'll be backing off like that.
I think I've just said to the lads in there, January can be an unsettling time for everyone. Some people aren't playing as much as others, and we've got to keep this group together, first and foremost. No one leaves unless I say so. I want to keep us together. That's really, really important. If we can improve, then we maybe look to do that. But we'll be coming out stronger by the end of January. That's important.
FA Cup next as well, Preston. What are your targets in the Cup? Sorry, Bolton.
Yeah.
Is that a distraction, or is it a distraction?
No. I just mentioned it again in the final bit. So we'll have a couple of days off.